Hey everyone, this is CineEmi with my weekly beading podcast. I am going to be doing something different than I have tried to do because I don't really have a format for these videos like I kind of do for my knitting podcasts. Like with knitting, you do like either you start with FOs, and then you go to work in progresses, and then you talk about things you want to knit. But with beading, I don't really want to show my works in progress. One, because I do them one at a time, not multiples. And two, because a lot of the patterns are paid for. Actually, almost all of the patterns are paid for. The ones that aren't paid for are ones I design myself, or ones that I have permission to use and don't have to pay for. So what I'm going to try and do instead is pick out some items that I have either not talked about before or something's changed with that I've beaded in that week. Some weeks I bead the same object, so it may be that 3 podcasts down the road I have something that I've beaded before. Like this, I'm pretty sure has been on a podcast before, but this is a new version of it. So these are some items that I've beaded this week. I brought out most of the gold ones. One of the changes that I've made recently, which I've talked about on Instagram, is that I changed from having a bunch of like 5 or 6 clear beads and sticking a jump ring through, and then attaching a lever back or an earring to it. Instead I've put I moved to putting a smaller jump ring straight through, see if you can see, I don't know if it's gonna focus, straight through a bead, which has worked out wonderfully, but you lost some moverability. So I've been trying to think of ways for a long time to fix that. And while I was doing my either weekly or bi-weekly, depending on people's availabilities, my Dungeons and Dragons group, it like hit me. Chains. Now the silver ones aren't exactly the type of chains I want. I ended up buying the wrong kind, but I'm still going to use them because they are kind of cool, and one of my friends is obsessed with them. But the gold ones are exactly what I wanted, except for I was playing around with the chains. So all of these that have the short chains are all for my personal use, because I kind of wasted chains by testing out, and I didn't want to really. I thought that the amount of chains that I had in between the jump rings was going to be a small amount, because in my head it was a small amount. But when I was knitting and testing out these things with it, I found out that the correct amount is this kind of longer length one. It kind of looks stupid to me in my head. That sounds wrong to say, but it does, to have like a jump ring, this tiny little bit of chain, and then another jump ring. It seems like a waste, but I thought it looked nice until I started trying to use these longer ones, and oh my word, I love the longer ones. They are easy. Like, one, they all lay flat, like whichever way you want to have them lay when you're knitting, they lay flat, so that like if I need it it doesn't really get in my way. The chain is usually the part that's closest. If I'm using it as a stitch marker, it's closest to the needle, and I can just flick it really easily, and it doesn't really get in the way. And the charm is down long enough that it just looks cute. And when it's used as a progress marker, it hangs down flat, and it does move with the knitting, but like it doesn't like, because when I was using it my old way, I had like it would feel like it was tugging on the beading when I was trying to get it to lie flat. I could never get it to lie flat the way I wanted. but now these do. And also with earrings, it gives it like a dangle, kind of like my like fringe earrings. So like when you're walking down the street, you just get the cuteness. So the ones I've picked out for today is I had a bunch of orders for dragons, so I had to remake them. And so this is the new version of the dragons. The beads are all exactly the same. The only difference is the new attachment. And I love this thing so much that I had to make myself one. Then we got farm animals. I've gotten a lot of orders for cows and pigs recently, so I found out this is my old pattern, but I did a head. I used to only have the body. I don't have the body with me right now because I sold out of it. But I am going to be making more. But this is the head for the cow body that when I was making the cow again, to put some more back in the shop, I noticed that, you know, why not just, because I was already doing with these because they were so big. I was just like, they're more earring size, even though I do use them as stitch markers every now and then. But I was just like, let's just do the heads, because you can tell what they are from the heads. So I was like, when I was making the other cow, I was just like, let's try doing the little cow thing. I also have a pig that I have on my shop, the full body pig that I'm going to be doing just a head for also. This one I did not do a head for the turtle because he's the only one here I think that has in the gold has the correct amount of length that I want now for the chains. And I've contemplated doing just his head, but his head is kind of just like a little green monster if it's done by itself. So I didn't really feel like doing just the head. It just seems silly. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of farm animals, and then I got right before, like right after between Thanksgiving and Christmas, all these beading patterns went on sale. So I got like two huge sets of Disney princesses, and one of the sets also had female villains. And they were cross stitch patterns, so that means I have to do square stitch, which takes a freaking long amount of time, but I've actually learned to enjoy it a lot recently. And so I tried doing the pattern, and then I realized it was so big, which I have people who've bought stitch markers that are bigger than this before. So I'm not worried about that. So I did put them up as stitch markers, but they're mainly earrings in my head. They're mainly earrings. So I did just the head as a stitch marker, and I've been using mainly the head. I have worn a pair of these earrings out, but mainly just the head is what I consider the stitch marker size. And I think that's what I'm going to do for most of them. Some of them, they don't, like their designs don't lend well to just doing the head. Like, for instance, Mulan, she has long hair. So when I looked at it, I was like, there's nowhere I could stop it, where it wouldn't kind of look weird, because the hair would need, like, you can like tell that the hair needs to be going longer. I think Rapunzel is another one because her hair goes really long. I think I've decided to do of these, because I am still going to do the full body ones. I think either Belle, Snow White, or there was one other that I was thinking about doing, but I'm going to do one other one soon. Just like every month I might do a different Disney princess, but this is what I'm working on right now. But it's mainly if I have time, because again, this took me about 3 hours to make, roughly, and then this took me about an hour and a half. No, yeah, roughly an hour and a half. So they're kind of more time consuming, which is why they're more expensive. These are also more expensive because they take a lot of time, even though it's my regular beading method. There's so many freaking beads, and like the different colors and the patterns are just, it's a lot. But yeah, so this has been my beading podcast for the week. I hope you like and subscribe below. It really helps me out. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next week. God bless.